All right, so in this way, functionalism, doing with philosophical behaviorism and the type identity theory, have seriously distorted the nature of consciousness. Who knew? Describing something at an uncharacteristic level would muddy the waters some. It makes consciousness physical, or implies that for it to exist, it must depend on the brain functioning. So since conscious states are not physical states, neuroscience is inept at discovering their nature. So it can tell us all the things about the brain, but it can't tell us anything about the mind. And that's fine. It just needs to understand that it can only do those things. But unlike other science, when it reaches into scientism, that's when you have that muddying of the water, and then you're like, well, you're in the wrong category here. You're at the wrong meeting. You need to go down the hall and to the right, you're at the left. So keep going. And so by contrast, neuroscience is good at discovering which brain states cause which conscious states and vice versa.
So we don't want to throw neuroscience out, right?
Exactly.
It helps us understand, helps us discover these things about brain states and how they cause conscious states, but they don't explain, it doesn't explain consciousness. And that's really what he's getting at. He says essential issues in regarding the mind, what is thought, feeling, or belief, what is it that to which myself is identical, are basically common sense, he tells us, and philosophical issues for which scientific discoveries are largely irrelevant. Science is helpful, he says, in answering questions about what factors in the brain and body generally hinder or cause mental states to obtain, but science is largely silent about the nature of mental properties or states. And that's the point he's trying to make here.
All right, so neuroscience is a wonderful tool, and it should be gladly celebrated by all Christians who recognize that all truth is God's truth. Amen. But neuroscience needs to stay in its own lane, cognizant of what it can tell us and what its limitations are, what its functions as the totalitizing theory, including into the domain of other areas of knowledge, such as philosophy or theology. It has a distorting effect and ultimately undermines the nature of science itself. Once again, we have an example of how scientism distorts genuine knowledge and hurts the enterprise of science. If you're talking about fish and how to prepare fish, neuroscience scientists coming along and telling you the best way to prepare mental states of you and the fish probably aren't going to help you dress up that fish to make it tasty. And so you just say, that's great, thank you for your help, but you stay in the brain, and I'll stay with the fish. It's okay not to have a all-encompassing theory if you're a neuroscientist.
Good. Yeah. So that's the conclusion of it here in this chapter. When science exceeds its reach, and this case study has to do with science exceeds its reach when it tries to describe consciousness in a physical way.